Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's the day of the drive. The first cars are just heading out over there. And we've just got you a second look at the XEV 90 and the B60. We'll take you to the XEV 90 first. You already saw this yesterday in studio lighting. This is it in the flesh. It's in a very simple plain shade of white. But still, I think the proportions are something that have translated really well to real life. It doesn't look particularly enlarged. I like how this roofline flows really smoothly down to the back. It actually looks very impressive even here in the real world. I didn't think it would, but it really does. Again, very nice proportions from the rear as well. The 90, of course, is the flagship of the XEV or the Mahindra electric range, and it definitely looks like a flagship. It is very, very imposing in terms of its size and stance. Yesterday, the electronic tailgate was not working. We'll find out if it is. It is working. Again, a 660-liter boot, which is nice and big. You get some extra storage down here as well to put your charging cables and stuff, and a load cover as well. That's nice. We'll shut this and we'll move to the inside of the car. Where here we have the passenger display. Now, what I couldn't show yesterday is how the graphics and all work on these screens. It is fairly smooth, but this doesn't have too many menus to play around with, so I mean, I can't tell. You do have YouTube and you have a 5G connectivity inside the car. We are not quite sure on how the subscriptions and stuff work for that, but you do have 5G, and I can open YouTube and type PowerDrift and PowerDrift, and those are videos from yesterday. Anyways, this is the main screen, and you can see it's right now on the everyday mode. You have your range mode and you have your race mode as well. You have a lot to play around with on this screen. So you have stuff like tire information for your tire, not just pressure but temperature as well. You can play around with your mirrors and change the settings on that. But yeah, basically it's a very extensive screen, and the layouts, not the layout, sorry, the themes change according to the drive mode. So right now I'm in race mode, so it's all red, and just see, it's not very snappy. I wouldn't say it's like as snappy as one of the latest smartphones, but it's pretty good. There's not a lot of lag. We haven't tried Apple CarPlay yet. Hopefully that is working. One thing I didn't like yesterday and I don't like today as well are these controls. I don't get these. These are just, I don't know whether to press them or touch them, and it's just weird. Here's what the camera looks like. So this is right now the rear view. I can put this to a top view, a back view. The quality is fairly good. It's a bit grainy and a bit soft, but it's not really bright outside. It's about 6:45 a.m. so it's not particularly bright outside. But that's the B behind us. I'm going to quickly hop into the driver's seat. And show you what that's like from here. So on the right side, you have your similar controls to the XUV, but here it's got a nice steering wheel. What I was showing yesterday and I couldn't show because of the carpet was how easy it is to go lock to lock. So one finger, that's how easy it is to go lock to lock. It's really good in terms of just ease of use. Mahindra has gone to a variable gear ratio system and a very nice new assisted steering system. So they've basically reduced the force you would need at low speeds to turn the wheel, and then at high speeds, the on-center feel is supposed to be nice and sort of weighted, so it's not a twitchy car. Then you have your electronic sunroof, which has these ambient lighting things on them. I'm not quite sure. I liked it yesterday, of course, in the event and the hype of all of it. I'm not sure how tacky it is, or how well I'm going to take it, but I guess it's cool and I think people should like it. Again, this is the key of the car. If you didn't see our video yesterday, it's a new key from Mahindra. It's got this rubberized plastic sort of a thing. It is definitely plastic and light, but it's not a cheap plastic. It's a nice sort of like hardy plastic, and this olive green patch in the middle. You have your armrest here, basic stuff, and yeah, what I don't like is firstly that they've put all the controls, including the air conditioning and everything, onto the screen, but they have given you this thing, which is also there in the XEV 00, and has these shortcut keys. So if I want to change the climate control, I just press this fan, and the climate control menu opens up on the screen right there, and I can then control it via this dial as well. I can do the same for volume, because there is no volume knob, which is just, come on man, there should be a volume knob. And you can do the same for the drive modes. I like that this is a solution to the fact that they've put all the controls on the touchscreen, but I would have just preferred if they didn't put all the controls on the touchscreen. I'm just going to adjust this seat to my driving position and show you what the space is like in the back. This is approximately my driving position. We're going to hop into the back. Just remove these boxes from back here. That is packed breakfast. Yeah, that is a lot of space. So I do have decent enough headroom despite the sunroof eating into some of it. But knee room is fantastic. It's a lot. I can slide my legs underneath the front seat. 65-watt charger back here, underrated feature. And you also have this space to, again, store your device and dock your device here. So maybe your iPads or whatever, your kids can play around with that in the back. You get rear AC vents. These are standard, by the way. They feel fairly good quality, nothing like shaky or this thing about them. And the plastics here are, although they're hard, but they're not scratchy particularly. Down here, you have some little extra storage for your phone and stuff. Overall, really nice. One thing I didn't like is these window switches are very different. And if you go down on them, it actually pulls up the window, and you have to, I will come there and show it actually. So you would assume that this is to put the window down as it is in normal cars, but it's not. You do forward to put the window down. So you go up to go down, and down to put the window up, which is just strange. But you do have these window blinds, which are really awesome in Indian summers. A 16-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. We haven't heard it yet. We'll find out what that is like in our first drive. But now let's quickly hop to the BE60 and check that out in a little bit more detail as well. By the way, one thing they've done well is bottle holders in this pocket, in this door I mean. Bottle holder in this door as well, and of course that means all four doors have a bottle holder. I hope you're listening, Tata. Anyways, BE60 now. Okay, we'll walk around the design first. Again, still one of my favorite features is this pass-through duct sort of a thing that they've done. I think it's fantastic. Even out here in like natural light, it really looks like a concept car. This color is called Desert Mist. The indicators just came on. I just think it looks fantastic. We're going to move around to that side. Nice big rims here. I think these are the 19s and not the 20-inch rims. Yeah, these are the 19-inch rims. There's also 20-inch rims on offer. Again, aero profile. Down the side, very clean. Hidden door handle at the back here. I really like this line. So it carries through from the front wheel arch and comes all the way back and then comes out here and really accentuates the width of the car and that extra flared arch. You have your charging port here. And of course, you can take out for AC charging and then unplug the second one if you want to do fast DC charging as well. Oh, leave that. But yeah, you have your charging port and it actually has an indicator here. So it shows you your battery status. It shows you if you have low battery, if it's charging, it shows you right here, which is actually really cool. And it shows you if there's an error as well. Okay, now let's hop inside the BE60. I'm gonna move these boxes and the cap to the back. Yeah, so the interior is something we noticed yesterday was very special on the BE60, and it is special here as well. We're just going to open the glass roof, and here, because it's a little bit dark, you can really see that illuminated skylight kind of thing that they've done. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I don't know if I'm a fan of it or not. I like how these headrests are separate units. You can adjust them, but they're separate from the seat. Again, looks like a concept car. This top half of the seat, or at least one slant of the seat, is like this wool sort of fabric, and then it's like leathered down here. Of course, you do have seat ventilation, and you have electronic adjust for the seats as well. Here, something else we noticed is that the key is different, yeah, like the like the XEV 90, but it slots nice and magnetically here into the center, which I think is a really cool detail, and has like a ring around it, and that leads to the start stop button, which is nice and cool. You have this fighter jet style gear selector, which is very nice. And again, you have a similar control to get to the shortcuts for the screen. We're going to go through some of the stuff on the screen. Again, this is a very similar layout to the one on the XEV 90. I feel there's too many icons and a bit too many things going on here. It should be nice and simple and big icons, like something like what Mercedes does. We're going to take the cover off the screen for you. Oh, wow. That was really satisfying. Anyways, okay, so it says 434 kilometers of range with 76% battery left. So Mahindra yesterday told us about 500 kilometers real world range on the two cars. This should be about 510. So yeah, 76% battery, 434 kilometer range. This is, by the way, I think on eco mode or on the range mode. But yeah, that is quite promising. Yeah, really nice. Again, like the XEV 90, steering is very easy to use. With a single finger, you can, go lock to lock. There are some interesting controls on the steering that we couldn't show you yesterday. I'll just show you now. So you have this plus and minus button to adjust the regen. So here you just go plus, minus to adjust the regen. You have this button here, which is like a foot and a brake. It seems like the parking brake, but it's actually for one pedal driving. So you click this and it goes into one pedal driving mode, which means you don't really need to press the brake. When you get off the throttle, the car will automatically do regen and braking and combine that. And then you have this lightning bolt, which is for a 10-second boost, where you get all the power of the car for 10 seconds. Okay, you have an armrest here with a very tiny space down here, but I believe it's cooled. Yeah, I can feel some cold air coming in. So it's a cooled unit, but very tiny. Yeah, that's about it. You have a wireless charging pad here, nice ambient lighting, and this ambient lighting is actually dual tone. It's like a yellowish here and a bluish there, and it just looks really cool. Again, you have these GT3 RS style pull to open tabs, which I think are fantastic. For a 20 lakh rupee car, this has so much detail into its design that customers, at least for the first 6, 8, 10 months, will still be finding more and more details all around the car, including these fighter style switches for some of the other stuff. We'll quickly hop into the back. I'll just adjust the seat to my driving position, and we'll just check out the space in the back. Oh, you can get nice and low on. Oh wow, that is a really nice driving position. That feels so nice and racy, if I'm honest. It doesn't feel very SUV like. It's actually really impressive. The seat is nice and supportive. Very nice. We'll quickly hop into the back. Okay, again, something we noticed is you need to be careful of your head when you're getting into the BE60, because this roofline is quite low here. And even the window in itself is very small. So if you're a small kid, so for example, if I was a small kid, I would be very low on the window line. I would have preferred if there was a little bit more space. You do feel a little bit cooped up. I personally like that feeling. It feels like a sporty car sort of a feeling where you're cocooned into it. But maybe a lot of people won't like it. There's some hard plastics going on here, not particularly scratchy, and they seem to have been done well and done on purpose, so not bad there. But yeah, you have about an inch of knee room, which is not great. It's about, something that you would expect in a Venue or a Nexon or a Sonnet or something like that. You do have all right headroom. I won't say it's great. I'm 5 feet 11 inches. I like to prefer that I'm 6 feet. But yeah, I'm 5 feet 11 inches and I'm okay. I'm comfortable. Seating in the middle is also fine. This seat is almost flat, and because you have a flat floor, you can sit pretty comfortably in the center as well. And that's the same on the XEV 90. Of course, that's wider, so you have even more space to fit 3 people. But yeah, it's nice. You have no headrest. Oh, you do have a headrest. You have an adjustable headrest, and that's actually tucked in really smartly into this console. So you wouldn't know that it's an adjustable headrest, but you do have one, which is great for safety. And you have 3-point seat belts for everybody, which is nice. Of course, you have an armrest here with 2 cup holders as well. And yeah, that's about it. That was a quick first look, or actually a not so quick second look at the BE60 and the XEV 90. I'll quickly show you the boot before we close. So I think it needs a double press on the tailgate for it to open. And this is again the 440 litre boot, which is not particularly big, but nice and useful. We're going to close this and we're going to close this video as well. Thank you for watching. We're going to be driving both the BE60 and the XEV 90 very, very shortly. So stay tuned for that.